Going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. If you are here and you can hear me clearly, please drop your ones in the chat. Please drop your ones in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly so we can get into this recap show. We'll give y'all a minute to hit the like button. And then we're going to get into this recap show. Shout out to everyone in the building. But let me know if y'all can hear me clearly in the chat room, y'all. Okay, let me see if y'all can hear me clearly. Okay. I'm glad you guys could hear me clearly. I'm glad y'all could hear me clearly. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to everyone in the building. I will be opening the panel. As y'all know, I will be opening the panel. Every recap show will be a panel show. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. So let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's in the building. I'm gonna give my shout outs and then we're gonna get into the recap show. We're gonna get into the recap show. Shout out to Tone Malone. Salute, my brother. Salute. Shout out to my guy Tone in the building. What's up, Queen? Shout out to Queen in the building. Happy Saturday to you. I appreciate your support. Hey, Miss Camille, good to see you, sweetheart. I'm glad you're in the building on this Saturday afternoon. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Free my grandma in the building. Salute. Let's see who else up in here. Hey, Raining Woman. What's up, Raining Woman? What's going on? What's going on with you? Queen says, I'm glad I'm off this weekend. Yeah, it's messy out there this weekend, too. Especially if you're on the Northeast. It's been messy this weekend, man. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I definitely want to come and bring y'all this recap show real quick. We're going to recap the series that I just finished this week. So shout out to y'all who came through and supported the shows. Shout out to everyone who has supported the shows. Shout out to everyone who has supported the series. If you've missed the previous series, shout out to you, Miss Queena, for doing that. She shared the playlist in the chat room. So if you missed any episodes, if you missed the entire series, if you need to catch up, the link to the playlist is right there. You also can access all my other playlists, all the other series that I done right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everyone. Ebo says me too, Queen. Shout out to Ebo, man. Shout out to Ebo in the building. Time to relax and peep out the show. Salute. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So let's start. Let's start from episode 1. So let's go back. We're gonna go back to the playlist real quick. Gonna go back to the playlist real quick and we're gonna go through each episode. Go through each episode. So episode 1 was Your Purpose Isn't Her Pleasure. That was episode 1. Episode 1 was Her Purpose Isn't Your Your purpose isn't her pleasure. Excuse me. Your purpose isn't her pleasure. And what we spoke about, what I spoke about in that show in particular, and what I wanted a lot of brothers to understand is and we used Remy and Papoose as an example for this entire series. Um, but in particular, with this episode, I went into how Pap began to structure his life and his purpose and everything that he was doing and everything that he was trying to accomplish. He began to structure his entire life around Remy. And not only did he do it, but he was successful at doing it. And he, from what we know, he did this while she was in prison. And when Remy came out, she was just able to just come out and pretty much be a woman, be a wife, be a mom, have time for her family. She didn't have to come back out and get back on the road and get right back in the studio. You know, Papoose made sure that his wife didn't have to do that. And he made sure that that happened because he structured everything that he was doing around that. So basically, she survived, her family survived, her child survived because of Papoose, because of his sacrifice, because of him sacrificing his purpose, his dream, and putting all those things on hold and on the back burner and tailoring all of that around her. And the not just her, but her and the idea of them being a family and all of those things because that's what he thought she wanted, her pleasures and all of those things, right? As we can see, fellas, that didn't pan out correctly. And from a lot of the pictures that we've been seeing popping up all over social media, some of the pictures that I've been putting up as my thumbnails and things of that nature, a lot of you brothers have, and the ladies, y'all been able to see that Pap was beginning to lose himself, you know, no matter how much he's able to keep it under wraps. Um, like we always say, a picture tells 1,000 words, says 1,000 words, you know. And those pictures that we saw with him and Remy was not too convincing that they were in a happy marriage based on her facial expressions, based on her outfits, and based on Papooses' facial expressions and his body language as well. So in episode 1, this is what we spoke about, how a lot of us men have lost ourselves at some point or another because we begin to wrap our purpose around her pleasures. We think that we doing what's right when at the end of the day we're just sacrificing for an ungrateful person. You see? So that's what we spoke about in episode 1. That's what we spoke about in episode 1. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. Appreciate that. Free My Grandma says, I see marriage benefits a man none when making the wrong decisions, huh? Most of the time, we don't. Because when you think about it, we're going to take a loss either way. Even if we just lose money in a situation, Free My Grandma, it's a loss. And if we just take an emotional hit, it's a loss. So we're going to lose either way. We're going to lose either way. You see? So this is why we have to, and y'all can also go to the playlist section and check out the playlist A Man's Shitty Vetting Process. Because we don't understand the importance of our vetting. This is why a lot of us men don't understand the real importance of marriage and being in that dealing with that level of commitment. Dealing with that level of commitment is serious. And a lot of us, a lot of us men, a lot of times we don't understand how serious it is. This is why we're not that, I'm gonna say, not that smart in picking the right woman to be our wife. We look for the wrong things because we worship the wrong things. And these things come back to bite us in our ass. Shout out to OG in the building. OG says, women turn us into dogs they call us. Queena says he was trying to satisfy that ungrateful heifer. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. There's the playlist, A Man's Shitty Vetting Process. The playlist is in the chat room. If you missed any episodes of that series, if you got to catch the entire series. And episode 2, let's go to episode 2 now, because I'm gonna open up the panel and I'm gonna let y'all come up and give y'all perspectives on each episode and just chop it up with me. So let's get to episode 2. Episode 2 was You Become Unattractive. You become unattractive. In this episode, I spoke on how when a man begins to lose himself, you become unattractive to the woman that you're with. How when you stop having that drive that you once had, that you had when she met you, when she first laid eyes on you, when you just stop, when you lose that ambition for yourself. See, this is why I did that show after I did Your Purpose Isn't Her Pleasure. Because once you start making everything about her, you lose her. And if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned that in that episode. That once you make everything about her, you lose her because you're going to lose yourself. And once you lose yourself, you're going to lose your woman because she's not going to be attracted to you anymore. All the stuff you're going to start doing and saying is going to be getting on her nerves and all of these things. All of a sudden, she's going to want to always be out. She's not going to want to hang out with you around the house. And she going to always want, try to get you to go out and be away from her and all of these things. You become unattractive. You become unattractive. Free My Grandma says, do you agree that spirituality plays a significant role when choosing your partner? Absolutely. Absolutely. Really, that is where we're actually supposed to um draw our vetting from initially, because the first value in life is spiritual value. Free My Grandma. So a lot of us men are spiritually off, so we deal with women who are spiritually lost because we are, you know. And this is why you hear women online saying that, men are asking for things that they're not initiating. And that's true, especially when it comes to, see, that whole submission argument is actually a spiritual argument. It's a biblical conversation. It's a conversation, that is had with religious people. And a lot of these women have moved away from spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it because of the abuse that they suffered from men. Men abusing their power in the realm of religion and saying that they have to submit and all of these things. So, you know, we really have to understand that. And this is why a lot of times we get in with women that's on demon time. We get in with women that's on demon time because our spirits are off as well. So it definitely plays a part, for sure. For sure, for sure. But that's that's a deeper conversation. You know what I'm saying? Free My Grandma. That's a conversation that, a lot of men are not gonna willing to be a part of, because it's really just going to turn into a intellectual, religious slash philosophical debate where people are going to start pulling out books and proving, well, this was wrong, and the Bible is this, and the Quran is this, and this is this, and this is that, and it's going to take away from the direction. So, but that's a conversation I'm willing to have with you, Free My Grandma, because you asked that question. So I could tell that you're you know, you'll be willing to have that conversation in a mature way. What's up, Zahara? How you doing? So in episode 2, that's what we spoke about. You become unattractive. You become predictable when you weren't. You become a routine, and that becomes monotonous, you know. You know how even a lot of us men speak about this. A lot of us men say how, we can get tired of the same woman. You might want something different. Well, guess what, fellas? Women like different flavors too. Women like different flavors too. That's all. Women like different flavors. They just don't, it's just now that they freely expressing it in society because they don't have no restraints as far as any repercussions. My grandma said, so basically we're leaning to our own understanding, huh? Absolutely. 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 Along with the devil's philosophy. But like I said, bro, that's a whole nother conversation that certain men, could be a part of. That might be something I start in the future, on members only, having those types of conversations. Because those are like council conversations, men men that'll be sitting on a council, on a spiritual council, not no, you know, like I said, not a bunch of dudes that just want to have a debate, because those types of conversations attract debaters and detractors, you know. So, we I have to put that together amongst a small group of bros, and we'll do that on some members only type of stuff, you know. I'm ready for DS. I'm ready, DS1 for edif. Yeah, salute, bro. I believe a lot of brothers that support this channel, we all are. And that's what we're actually, that's what working on yourself is all about. It's for edification. It's you edifying yourself. But like I said, when we start using these types of terms, it riles certain people up. It gets certain people, it makes certain people offended. So, you know, we had that conversation. We definitely got to have some OGs in the building as well. We always need OGs and elders to be a part of that conversation with us, because a lot of times too, it's always good to have an elder around because they'll also direct the conversation in a positive way, and to make sure that we're actually being edified, and we not up there, BSing, you know. But that's something I'll definitely look forward to putting together in the future, you know. But that's what episode 2 was. Episode 2 was you become unattractive, You become unattractive when you lose yourself. When you forget who you are. If you forget who you are, of course she's going to forget. And she may not even forget. She just may not like you no more. Cuz she like the you that she met. And not saying that you're not supposed to grow, but you're not growing. You're not growing. If you done lost yourself, you're not growing. You're either remaining stagnant or you're going down. You're not growing. And you become unattractive, man. Like I said in the episode, you become like those old house shoes. You ever see those women that be walking their dogs in the morning with them old house shoes on, with the long t-shirt, and they just be sliding, walking the dog? That's what you become. You become those old house shoes. They use those old house shoes to kill flies and roaches and shit in their house. You become the old house shoes, man. Kill a little spider and shit when it come in the house. You become the old house shoe. Shout out to Ebo. I appreciate you, bro. He said a little coin for the tip jar. Appreciate it. Appreciate that super chat, man. But that's what you become, man. And once you allow yourself to become that, you become unattractive, bro. You always want to remain attractive. You always want to remain, attractive to your woman. And that's not for you to specifically go out of your way and do all of this extra stuff. No, women do that. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is just remain vigilant on your purpose, man. She constantly see you working at something. You constantly working towards stuff. Not saying you got to work like a goddamn machine 24 hours. And no, we're not saying that. But she got to understand that you got things going on, and she got to see that you're working on these things. Constantly, you're working on these things. You see? Because then you have to understand too, is when you got things going on, you then have something for her to help you with. If she's supposed to be your helpmeet, you got to give her something to do. You see? A lot of dudes don't have nothing for her to do besides cooking, cleaning, being some domestic. Like they look at it as being a slave. Now, as men, we could take it how we want, but that's how they take it. That's how Remy started feeling, and I spoke on it. She started feeling like she a slave. All I gotta do is be in a house and watch the kids and cook and do DIY stuff. And then, she got tired of that, man. She wanted to be back out there working and moving around and all of those things. That's how she remembered Pap. That's the Pap who she fell in love with. And that's the Pap who she want Pap to remain to be. She want an industry husband. She want an industry husband, man. And we spoke on that in that episode. Free My Grandma says, Romans 12:12, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God and what is good and acceptable and perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Free My Grandma. Absolutely. But we got to stand on that. We got to stand on that. That's why I said that's a conversation, us men have to talk about, because we have to stand on that, Everybody, we still have our ways, and then some of us have ways that we're stuck in. And those ways are worldly, Those ways are worldly. And those worldly ways connect with the worldly ways in the women that we deal with. So we like I said, that's a conversation that we need to have at another time with more serious brothers. You feel me? So let's get to episode 3. Episode 3 was we don't set, create, and enforce boundaries. We lose ourselves as men when we do not create, set, and enforce boundaries. And if I'm not mistaken, shout out to Rain and Woman, she mentioned that, I don't think she was specifically speaking on men, but she was saying that people don't set boundaries due to the lack of standards, and people don't have standards due to the lack of self-value. And I totally agree with that, because it all goes back to value, because you're only going to protect and guard what you value. You see? So this is why you see the guys in the streets defending the hoes, because that's what they value. That's what they value. People value their negative narratives more than the truth. So they'll protect a lie. You see, they'll protect a lie. And what they'll also do is they'll safeguard themselves from the truth by constantly protecting and inflating lies. So when you're a person like this, right? When you're living like this, you're going to attract women who do the same thing. This is the truth. This is what it is, fellas. Because we're not creating, setting, and enforcing proper boundaries, because we don't feel that it's necessary to. When we feel like it's necessary to? When the boundary has already been violated. When you have already set the stage for the disrespect. You done set the stage for all of that shit already. And how have you did it? By when she first came in, she knew that she can get away with certain things off the rip by just how you move. Just by how you speak, how you think. She already knew she can get away with certain shit because you just loosey goosey. You just loose in your whole approach. Not saying you got to be some uptight prick, but you can't be one of those. Oh no, baby, it's your world, baby. It's your world, baby. See a lot of you guys, you got a little paper. You driving the lights, whipping all that. So you want to seem like Rico Suave, these guys don't exist, y'all. that shit is not real. Women walk all over those types of men. It's your world, baby. It's your world, baby. They walk all over those types of guys. Yeah, see, this is why we're gonna need you a part of the conversation, OG. He said choosing between God and women is a tough one. This is why we need you a part of the conversation. Because I know it's some young guys who feel like that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Setting the stage for disrespect when we do not create, set, and enforce boundaries. Doesn't mean you, like I said, that doesn't mean you are uptight, prick. And I had to learn that the hard way, because that used to be me. I used to be uptight and prickish, walking around with a chip on my shoulder and shit. Always acting like I'm mad and shit with women. I used to be like that. Now, and I'm not gonna say some women didn't like it, because some women did. Because some women like to penetrate that shit. Oh, you playing hard to get. Some women, they like to penetrate that shit. But I really wasn't playing hard to get. I really wasn't. I really was just being an asshole. And I was being an asshole because that was a defense mechanism to me not knowing how to set a boundary properly. So I would just be an asshole. Honestly. I'm grown, so I could admit shit, I'm not ashamed to admit shit. Yeah. Most of the guys who don't know how to accept rejection, and you be seeing them spazzing out and all that type of shit, it comes from them not knowing how to set the proper boundary to deal with certain things. So they spaz out. Now, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't spazzing out and all that type of shit like that. Nah, I was just an asshole. I was a prick. Queen, are you crazy? No, I'm being honest. I really was. I was a prick. I was very prickish. And that's due to not creating, setting, and enforcing those boundaries. Because I noticed when I just start doing certain things and enforcing boundaries with certain things and just people in general, and not feeling no way about it, you a lot more relaxed. You're not so tense with things because you confident in the barrier that you set, in the boundary that you set. Excuse me, not the barrier, the boundary. We don't want to say barriers, boundaries. You become more comfortable because you're not always on go. You're not hyper vigilant. What up, Boot Camp? Shout out to my guy Boot Camp in the building. Queen says at least you admit to it. Some will never do that. I mean, yeah. Because they haven't felt comfortable enough to. Because again, not setting those boundaries, you develop defense mechanisms. That's why they call defense mechanisms. Because that is actually the detrimental way that you actually set a boundary. That is setting negative boundaries. When you have a bunch of defense mechanisms, those are negative boundaries. This is why I specifically said create, set, and enforce healthy boundaries. Because another way you could safeguard yourself is being an asshole. But that's a defense mechanism. That's a negative boundary. And that's not even a boundary. Let me stop saying that. That's a barrier. That's why I said barrier the first time, because it already was in my head. But that's actually a barrier. Defense mechanisms are barriers for us, fellas. And for a long time, we've been living on barriers as our protection and not boundaries. Because see, with a healthy boundary, you're still able to communicate properly, and you'll still let a person in. You know, you'll still let a person in. When you operating off these defense mechanisms, these are barriers. These are going to keep people, it's going to repel people. You're going to repel good women, and you're going to invite all of the bad women, because the bad women actually wants to penetrate the barrier. The good women are going to run away because those are unhealthy boundaries. Those are barriers. See, good women don't mind a man with boundaries. A good woman ain't gonna mind if you tell her no for something, and if it's a good reason behind it. She ain't gonna turn around and look at you as a whole different person and you're a horrible person now. And no, those are toxic women. Women who think like that, those are toxic women. Because that's their barrier. That's their defense mechanism. You see how it is on the other side? And our defense mechanism is what ours is, but they're barriers. They're not boundaries. And I'm going to say this again. A boundary, you can still allow people in. A barrier keeps good people out. It keeps the good people out. It scares the good women off. Those barriers, not boundaries. See, boundaries, you know what boundaries do? Scare bad women off. See, all these years, you probably thought you had boundaries. No, you didn't. You had barriers. You had defense mechanisms. That's what you had. And this is how a lot of us live. This is how a lot of us live. As men, we live like this. This becomes our modus operandi, becomes our MO, how we regularly just operate, you know? Queen says, I get it now. OG says, bang. So that was episode 3. That men lose themselves when they don't create, set, and enforce the proper boundaries for their life, and how they're going to deal with people, and how they're going to allow people to deal with them based on what they think and how they feel about themselves, not based on someone else. You see, your barriers, your boundaries are not supposed to be created, set, and enforced based on how someone is going to feel about it when they come in contact with it. That's not what you create them set them and enforce them on. You do all of that based on who you are and the results you want. You see? And I went into that a lot more on that show. So make sure y'all go and check it out. The link is in the comment section. Y'all, is in the chat. It's in the chat. So episode 3 was men lose themselves when they don't create, set, and enforce boundaries. Men lose themselves. And the last episode, and then I'm gonna open up the panel in case anybody want to come up. If nobody don't want to come up, we'll wrap the show up. Last episode was men lose themselves when they settle. When we settle. Why do we usually settle? Because we haven't created, set, and enforced healthy boundaries. So we settle for having these defense mechanisms. So in return, we settle for the women that we allow to come in, the toxic women that we allow to come in. We settle. We settle. Well, I'm good for now. Right now, we start saying stuff like that, trying to justify it. Settle. We lose ourselves when we continuously settle. OG says we are living with wrecked emotions. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of our emotions are wrecked due to us not placing our purpose around us, man. And feeling that we're worth it, bro. A lot of us brothers don't feel like we're worth the glory. We don't feel like we're worthy of, what's inside of us, bro, and what we actually supposed to accomplish. And that goes back into the spiritual conversation that Free My Grandma, proposed to have, man. That goes right back into that. Because emotions is spirit, is spiritual. Yeah, we be charging it to the game. Yeah, we be charging it to the game. But we be trying to charge it to the game, but we be forgetting that we playing ourselves because we're in the game. So we're the ones that's actually taking the charge. We're the ones, because the game gonna always be the game if we continue to play. So we be like, yo, man, we gonna charge this shit to the game, but the game don't be hurt. The players be hurt. The game don't be hurt. We be hurt. That's the crazy part. And a lot of us brothers, this is why I've always encouraged, therapy for brothers, agency, always, I'm always available. Not always, but I'm available if y'all brothers want to reach out to chop it up. If y'all need any consultation, this is why I always let y'all know my doors are open, man. For real. Starting next year, I'm going to be doing more consultations. I know I don't really promote it. I've done consultations. I've done numerous consultations. Brothers hit me up. I don't mind chopping it up with y'all and none of that. But this year coming up, 2024, I'll officially be doing a lot more consultations. Brothers can holler at me, man. Because we need to sit down and have these these conversations. Even if it's like a group therapy session, I don't mind, you know, hosting a group with you guys, a small group. We're going to get into it coming up 2024, man. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So that was the last episode was settling and how much that has affected us, brothers. Settling for Takesha. You settled for Big Booty Keisha when you supposed to be with, the smart girl. You supposed to be with Lorraine. You supposed to be with the smart girl. But you settled for Takesha. You settled for Big Booty Keisha. You settled for, Monica with the horrible attitude. You settled for the girl who gave you the best sex, but gave you the most goddamn headaches. See? That should show you that you settling. That should show you. And how does and how does something become toxic if it doesn't settle? How does something become toxic? How does something ferment and become and just become rotten and toxic? As to sit, as to settle. All the gook and all of that stuff, it has to settle before you start smelling it and ready to puke. It has to settle. It has to settle. So think about that, fellas. Think about that. All your toxic relationships you've been in was because you settled. You settled. You settled. Because in order for it to be toxic, it has to be some settle in there. That subtle dirt and dust and grime and grit and scum has to settle. Has to sit there and settle and soak. Yeah. That's how you get something toxic. Because you done settled. You done settled. You didn't actually pick. You settled. You didn't actually pick what you want. You actually picked what was left. You know how when people eat chicken wings, a lot of people don't eat the tip part? That's what we settle for, the tip. Pause. But that's what we settle for. That's what we settle for. The tip part of the wing. Everybody eat the flat and the drum. Most people don't eat the tip part. But that's what we settle for, fellas. The shit people want to throw away. We like, well, everybody done ate all the flats and the drums, so I'm still hungry, so I'm going to just eat the tip. Pause. I just got to keep saying that. That sounds crazy. But this is what's happening. We're settling. And as I said on that show, a lot of the women that we've settled with, they know that we've actually settled with them. They know. Because they actually know that you can do better, just like you know. Just like she knows. See, because let me let y'all know this too, fellas. I see your comments, Zahara. Right? Let me say this too. Don't ever think that you the best thing to the woman you was with. Don't think that, bro. Don't think that. Cause she could do better too. She could do better. If you know you settle with her, then you know she could do better. She could at least find a dude that would actually accept her bullshit. Because there's guys out here that'll just, accept the bullshit. Don't, you got stressed out about it. She could at least find a dude that'll just accept her and her bullshit. So she can do better, bro. She can. It's not up to you to judge what better is for her. So if it's easy to dustpan, it's easy to dustpan for her. That's better for her. You see? Zahara says, don't waste a thing. Not much meat, but I still eat it. You see? So settling, a lot of times, more times than enough, a lot of men don't admit that they've settled. A lot of men have settled to be with their wives, to be with their baby moms, And I know a lot of y'all hear the dating coaches say this, and a lot of dudes get upset, but it's true. A lot of guys have never actually been with the women that they actually wanted. Like, I want to be with you. I want to be with you. That's the truth. And a lot of you guys took it offensive, but what they were actually saying was most guys settle. Most guys settle. Have you actually been with a woman that you wanted? Based on her looks, her personality, whatever she do for a living, whatever. However that is in your mind, have you ever been with a woman like that? The archetype that you want, not the archetype you accepted, but the archetype you want. Have you ever been presented with that woman? Have you ever had a chance to be with that woman? And that's not a slight, fellas. This is something you need to think about because it speaks to settling. This is why a lot of guys get to a certain age and they feel like, damn, I never got my just due. I made everybody else happy but me. This is why you hear men say this. Because time and time again, they settle. Time and time again, they settle. They settle. We settle, fellas. We do. And this message could be for women too. Shout out to the ladies in the building that's listening. Shout out to all y'all that's in the chat. But this is why you hear the dating coaches tell brothers this. Because we settle. We settle. Because a lot of us are afraid to tell women no. No, I'm good. You afraid of her reaction. What? You're gonna tell me no? Bloque. This is why bloque. No. Yeah. So you can know how I feel to be with the woman you picked, that you wanted. Not the women you just said, all right, we've been fucking for 6 months. So, and I ain't fucking nobody else. So we're together. No. You can't do that your whole life, bro. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to feel worthless. You're going to feel worthless, bro. You're going to feel worthless about yourself. Why? Because you've done a bunch of shit in your life that was of no value to you. You just went around and settled. That's not masculinity, bro. Masculinity is what? Opposing environment, opposing situations. Oh, you think I'm a fail? Watch this. Watch this breakthrough. Watch this transformation. I'm not settling for that shit no more. Watch this. Now I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get everything I want. The next woman I'm with, I'm picking her. I'm telling her, I want you. Yeah. This is where we got to get to, fellas. Because if you just keep settling, then that denotes the lack of self-value. You see? If you think you're deserving of respect, you're worthy of respect based on the man that you are, why are you still project surfing for women, nigga? Where you know in that environment, women disrespect men on a regular. It is a common thing. So why are you project surfing for a woman? When the majority of the women in the projects respect killers and the police. So why are you project surfing, nigga? What are you? You just trying to settle for a nice piece of ass. You don't really want no respect. You don't want a woman to respect and honor you for the man that you really are. You just nigga, you just want to get a nut off. Stop lying. Okay? Cause you project surfing. You're willing to expose yourself to disrespect on the regular basis. For what? Why are you settling for disrespect? Why are you settling for that? Oh man, I ain't get the one I wanted, but you got a fat ass though. See that? See that? See that? This the shit we got to teach our sons to not do. Because that's how we started doing it. Man, she hard-headed, but she got a fat ass though. Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's why your ass got hypertension. That's why you got high blood pressure, nigga. Because you can't leave this goddamn headache that you done created for yourself, nigga. You did it. You did it. And now you done got into self-loathing. Because now you're mad at yourself. Because you know you didn't set those boundaries. Mm-hmm. You didn't know how to say no. You ain't know how to get up, zip your pants up, and never show up again. You felt wrong for doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And you stayed. Uh-huh. I know. But now look at you. Look at you now. Got bald spots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. Settling. Now you can't get the goddamn follicles in your hair to settle. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now you can't do that now. Can't get your goddamn blood sugar to settle and regulate. Yeah. Yeah, because you've been settling for a bunch of fucking garbage your whole life. Garbage. Garbage. And you know it's garbage, nigga. You know her ass is McDonald's dollar menu status. If you was to equate the majority of the women you done dealt with in your life to food, they will be McDonald's, nigga. Let's be honest, fellas. McDonald's. Yeah. And you know why we love McDonald's? Because our mamas used to give us McDonald's when we was little boys. We love them chicken nuggets. That's why we get with women, all they eating is fucking chicken nuggets. Yeah. 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 Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. We grew up eating McDonald's, Chinese food, McDonald's. Yep, that's the same type of woman you get. If you compare her to food, she's a fucking McChicken, nigga. Just like they could call us a Dusty, you're a McChicken. You're a McChicken. That's what you are. A Chick-fil-A. See why they love Chick-fil-A? Remember, I talked about that. Chick-fil-A. That's what she is. A Chick-fil-A. L-A-Y. Chick-fil-A. That's why they always had Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. Fast food. Yeah. Settling. You don't want that home cooked meal. That healthy meal. Yeah, that healthy woman. Yeah, she got fruit salad and shit. She got you eating fruit salad. She worrying about your blood pressure, nigga. Yeah. Have you ever been with one of those women? She worry about your blood pressure. She damn near got a headache when you got one. You ever had one of those? No, because we settle for the fucking headache. We settle for the women who give us the headache. That's what we do. That's what we do. And then we justify it by saying, well, I mean, shouldn't women with fat asses give men headaches? We start saying dumb shit like that to justify the dumb shit we do, fellas. Man, well, at the end of the day, you know, my great uncle Buck, listen to the nigga name. My great uncle Buck, he told me that women with good head supposed to give you a headache, boy. Your great uncle named Buck. The nigga named Buck. What? The nigga named Buck. Your great uncle Buck. We got to start thinking, fellas. Your great uncle Buck told you this. Nigga named Buck. Nigga named Buck. This nigga named Buck, y'all. Let's be honest. Queena, let's come on now. These are the niggas we be listening to as men. When I be talking about our uncles told us, the nigga name me Buck. Nigga named Ernest. You know them old school dirtbag niggas, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Nigga named Vernon. Them old school greaseball niggas. Them old school gorilla pimps. Yeah. Cause you know them gorilla pimps, they soften up when they get older. You know, they done probably had about 2 strokes. They done met them an old woman who take care of them now. They just sit in the house and drink beers. Yeah, you know them gorilla pimps, they get soft when they get older. Yeah, nigga named Willie Earl. Yeah, come on. Them old dirtbag niggas. Those are niggas we got the game from. Them old school greaseball, sneaky run the street niggas. Them niggas. Nigga walk up to you, pull a flask out the inside his blazer pocket and sit before he give you some wisdom. Hey, listen here, boy. he before he done finished the parable, he done took 2-3 shots before he done finished. He done hit the flask about 3 times while he talking to you. These are niggas we got this shit from, fellas. True or false? True or false? Come on now. And I ain't saying that these men were just horrible men, but come on now. Come on. These were niggas who settled. We knew who them niggas was. Come on now. We know that our Uncle Buck got with our aunt-in-law because she was willing to take care of his old drunk ass. She gonna be the woman to come bail him out because he done got drunk and was acting crazy at the gas station. Come on. This the nigga we done heard slick shit from Uncle Roy and Mac. Yeah, Uncle Mac. Yeah. Uncle Mac. These niggas taught us how to settle. Listen to the old school songs. If loving you is wrong, I want to be right. Come on. Who? Uncle Mac and them niggas was playing that shit. I saw you and him walking in the rain. Holding hands inside, never be the same. It was these niggas. Don't disturb this groove. It was them. I'm so into you. Come on, fellas. Let's be honest. Where you learn Freddie Jackson from, nigga? Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. Yeah. Shall I keep going? The Whispers. The Gap Band. Yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. Tevin Campbell. Yeah. Want me to keep going? Come on, man. Let's be real. What up, T Church? Let's be real. Right, goals. Come on, bro. We was aspiring to be that shit. Come on. The dumbest shit ever. And guess why they told us the dumbest shit ever? Because they didn't know nothing else to tell us, fellas. This, on some real shit, this is why we really can't even hold everything against them. Because they only told us what the fuck they knew. This is why my father always told me, son, it's going to be on you to push the mentality of the family, to change the mindset. You see? They only taught us and said the shit that they knew. And I'm laughing because it's really sad. Like, it's really sad. It is. That's why I'm laughing. I guess that's becoming a defense mechanism for me, like laughing at it. But yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, nigga named Uncle Buck, fierce soul. Yeah, black ass Uncle Buck. He's so black he purple. Got all the goddamn women. All the hoes on the whole stroll know Uncle Buck. All the hoes down there on the whole stroll, they know Uncle Buck. You know, Uncle Buck got to stop at the whole stroll before he come to church. That's Uncle Buck. You know, you always got one of them uncles. He's just a grease ball. Yeah, that's one of my uncles. This nigga is greasy. Love him to death, though. but what we got to understand is they only taught us what they knew. They only taught us what they knew. They weren't trying to hurt us purposely. You know what I'm saying? Player. Right. You know, right. OG. That's right. That's really what it is. Queen says, I grew up on those songs. Yeah, OJ the Juice Man. What's up, L'Oreal? I see you in the building. But that's, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Dale. Man, oh man. Come on now. Come on. They used to play that shit. Cause remember back in the day, they used to play those songs because they used to make songs. Black folk used to make songs where they used to talk about the relationship dynamic. Like they will make a whole song arguing about their girl, and you know, they will make them type of songs, man. Songs where they caught their women cheating, all types of stuff. And the women did the same thing. But now it's just a whole bunch of, you know, that shit done took. I'm gonna just say it was taken to some bullshit, man. What's up, young blood, with the Colt 45 in the bathroom garbage setting it up? Yeah, come on now. With the Colt 45, right? The Billy D. The Billy D. For real. So I'm gonna put the link out real quick. If nobody want to jump on, we'll wrap up today's show. Shout out to everyone in the building. I'm enjoying doing these recap shows, man. Like I said, we're gonna start doing a recap show after every series. After every series, we'll be doing a recap show. So salute to everyone, man. We'll go ahead and put the link in the chat. Y'all could jump on real quick. We could talk about the series. Quick little panel discussion for about another 30 minutes. That'll make it like a 2-hour show, and then we'll wrap it up. What up, brother Love? So the link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. But yeah, as far as the merch, man, y'all definitely can stay tuned for that. It's coming real soon. Those that shirt that I wore, those shirts that I've been wearing lately, I definitely got some more. You know, I definitely got a few samples. So I will be rocking them on the show. Y'all stay tuned. They will be available for sale real soon. And being that it's getting cold, um, we're definitely gonna have some pullover sweaters, some crew necks, and we're gonna have some hoodies as well because it's getting cold. So, and we will have the fitted hats and the trucker hats on deck as well. Because I know the weather is changing up, so people not wearing t-shirts like that too much. So we will have the crew necks and the crew neck sweaters, and we're gonna have some hoodies too. And we're gonna have the fitted hats and the trucker hats. Raining Woman says, I want to come up. I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Okay. I just had I just had three of my day one homies hitting my ass up on this same BS. Word. Yeah, the Gap Band is legendary, man. Especially in urban environments. I believe a lot of us grew up hearing that Gap Band playing, listening to Barry White, listening to Al Green, Luther, Teddy Pendergrass, Freddie Jackson. Like I said, the Whispers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Um, man, New Edition, Mint Condition. You know, from old to new, man. From old to new. Aretha Franklin, Stephanie Mills. You know, because my dad also played women too. My dad ain't just listen to male R&B. My mom and my dad, I think that's something that my mom loved about my dad too. He had a great taste in music because at one point my dad was a DJ. And my mom, she liked to party and they used to party together. So I could remember those times, you know. That's where I actually got my taste of music from. That's why I like a lot of old school music, you know, especially when it comes to like R&B and like love songs and shit like that. I like to listen to the old school shit. I don't like all of this new stuff because all this new shit is just it's sex music. It's not actually love music. It's sex music. Trey Songs and right, Sade. Right, that's love music, man. Trey Songs and Chris Brown and that's sex music, man. Right, Roger and Zap. Come on, man. Zap and Roger Troutman. He said, "No shit, I gotta clean my chimney today." Brr. Brother Love says, I'm doing a video on a comment the other day. Don't miss your wife chasing girlfriends. That statement been stuck in my head. Hey, drop that video, bro. You know I'ma share it. You know I'ma share it. Barry White and Al Green used to get them panties. Man, listen, man. You know when I learned that, OG? Because I learned that when I found out that my grandmothers these are these are the songs that my grandmothers got in the mood to. These are the guys like Al Green, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Freddie Jackson, Luther. I learned that as a as a young boy. I remember when I was young, my mother's mother loved Al Green. She played Love and Happiness every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. Because at one point, me and my mom lived with my grandmother when we first left New York. I did 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade in junior high school, me and my mom lived with my grandmother. She used to play that Love and Happiness day and night. I can remember hearing it in the morning, hearing it at night. She loved Al Green. Loved Al Green. Now, my father's mother loved Barry White. She loved Barry White. So I know exactly what you're talking about, OG. I found out who my grandmothers loved to listen to. And I took heed to that. I took heed to that for sure. Just like my father's mother, rest in peace to my dad. I hate even saying that, but she always kept it real with me when it came to women. Now, my mother's mother, rest in peace to her, which I hate saying that too, right? Me and her she never really sat down with me and had that conversation about women. But what I learned from my mother's mother is I learned how strong a woman's love for a man can be. Because my mother's mother was a very sweet, loving, and caring woman. And like she showed it a lot. Like she wore her, like they call her sweetheart. She wore her heart on her sleeve. What's up, Rainy Woman? How you doing?
I'm fine, and you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Man, another great series. Oh, peace to everybody in the chat. Another great series, DS1. So I have a couple of things.
Mhm.
One thing I want to say is I am so glad that you mentioned the part between the barriers and the boundaries and how toxic females will run away or be threatened by boundaries, and how they like to push, how they'll try to push the boundary, but they won't respect them and that they're toxic because those are the type of females. And I'm not, before I make my statement, I am not condoning abuse. But those are the type of females that you have to hit in the mouth, that a man has to hit in the mouth to get them to respect you or to shut up because they're constantly antagonizing and instigating you when they don't get their way. When you try to put your foot down, especially when you have not put your foot down before, and then they want to go ahead and continue to test them because of the toxicity. But also, these are typically the type of females that grew up in environments where abuse, as dysfunctional as it is normal, and they are used to being around women or females that are constantly antagonizing and being mouthy with the men in their lives, perpetuating the dysfunction and the toxicity.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree. I had mentioned this before, but a lot of us men don't understand that a lot of the behaviors that these toxic women display, they actually is actually learned behavior.
Hmm.
They actually watched women behave this way in their life time and time again. And
Hmm.
they've actually saw men fold when those women behave that way.
Mm-hmm.
So as men, we have to understand that we can actually boundaries is their repellent.
Yes.
It will actually repel them. So we don't have to do all of the stuff that we doing online. We don't have to be red pill. We don't have to say we black pill. We don't have to do all of that. All we have to do is just create, set, and enforce healthy boundaries, and those toxic women will be repulsed of you because the
Mm-hmm.
first thing, oh, who you think you are? I'm me. Got a problem with it? Block it. Goodbye. You see? Oh, you have a problem with me having standards? Block it. Goodbye. Because you want a low level nigga. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want. You want an ashy nigga. That's what you want. So if that's what you want, that's not what's available for you here. I'm not gonna be an ashy nigga so you can feel comfortable. This is where a lot of us mess up. And that is
Mm-hmm.
what I spoke about on the last episode with settling.
Right. Right.
You've been used to putting on lotion, getting out the shower. Now, now you done got with her because she don't like how your lotion smell. So now you don't put lotion on no more. So now you walk around ashy. You see, you've now settled. And over time, what this does to men, and men have to admit this, it wears us down. This is why when a lot of us, this is what the midlife crisis is about.
Right.
Men going back and looking back at their life 20, 15, 20 years before and saying, who the fuck am I?
Mm-hmm.
This is what the midlife crisis is, fellas. Who the fuck am I? I was just, I was just, the human version of Incredible Hulk 20 years ago. Now I look like Lex Luger without the steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look like Pookie from New Jack City. I was just in shape. I was statuesque. My chest was sitting up, my shoulders. Now, I'm built like Danny DeVito. What happened? You lost yourself, bro. You lost yourself, bro. You could blame whatever else. Those are just those things is just the proof that you lost yourself. That's all it is. The woman
Mm-hmm.
you were with, the financial trouble, all of those things is the indicators that you lost yourself. Those are all the indicators. You got bald spots, you got gout, you're suffering from ED, you're on Cialis. Yeah, you you lost yourself. That's what happened, bro. That's what the midlife crisis is. And we can avoid the midlife crisis if we
Mm-hmm.
make the proper first, if we choose ourselves to say, I'm not gonna lose myself. You got to choose yourself in order for you not to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with us choosing ourselves, fellas. Just like there's nothing wrong with a woman choosing herself. She has the right to say no. I don't want that. Okay. Okay. She has the right, bro. No matter how good of a man you are, she still has the right to be like, nah, I'm good. Just like you do. No matter how big the booty is, no matter how much she ready to go right now, bro, you still have the right to say no. You don't have to settle. You don't. We're choosing to. And we're choosing
Mm-hmm.
to because it goes back to what you said. It goes back to the lack of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel you don't have any standards, so you don't set those boundaries. Because it's like, for what? I'm just me. That's what a lot of us men say.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need to act like I'm somebody? I'm just me. Yeah, you don't even think you're nobody, bro. You don't even understand. You just denoted and just admitted that you don't think you're nothing. What do you mean you're just you? No, you're somebody. That's why you're you. Do you believe that? Do you feel that? Or do you only feel that when you're up in a woman?
Hmm.
Because see, if you only feel like that when you running up in a woman, bro, you need help, bro. You need help, bro. You need help. Just like Brittany Renner feels independent when she's sleeping with all these men, it's the same thing for you, bro. You feel empowered and like a man. The only
Mm-hmm.
time is when you up in a woman. After that, you're a wimp. After that, you're back to hiding and portraying and lying, and then you get to this age and they call it a midlife crisis, and you like, damn, who am I? What did I actually accomplish? Okay, I got this, I got that, but what for?
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't even know why you here. Now you don't even know why you here. And with that being said, you can't lead if you don't understand your bottom line.
I would like for you to repeat that.
You cannot lead if you don't understand your bottom line. Because what you gonna tell her?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So come on, fellas. The object is for us to not lose ourselves. This is why I always say we're our own agency. We need to be here for one another. We need to understand that we should be here for one another as bros. Because think about this, fellas. Think of it like this. If you getting ready to get married, right? You're not gonna have bozo niggas in your goddamn wedding party. The men that you have as your groomsmen are the men you value in your life. So these are the men that you should seek counsel from, and they should seek counsel from you. It's
Yes.
brotherhood. Your brothers are supposed to share that moment with you in life. Not no nigga you just knew from high school.
Hmm.
He ain't never mean shit to you. Y'all just sat at the high school table together.
Come on. Come on.
So think about this, fellas. We're our own agency. If you can't call me and vent to me, bro, and we chop it up and we get to some type of solution, why would you invite me to your wedding? Why would you have me around your wife? You can't
Hmm.
trust me.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trust me. And this is what we doing, fellas. We even settling for bullshit niggas as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Then you wonder how your girl end up cheating on you? Yeah, you keep that bullshit nigga around you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that little bullshit that your homeboy keep up attracts your girl. She like that little cute bullshit ass nigga.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you setting
Especially
the
if he high
stage for it
fiving
to
you.
happen.
Yep.
You done set the stage for it to happen. How did you set the stage? You didn't create, set, and enforce boundaries.
Yes, indeed.
Because just like boundaries is thought repellent, it's bitch nigga repellent too.
Facts.
Because you know what they're gonna say about you? Oh, them niggas over there think they the shit. I don't like them niggas. I'm gonna drop a dime on them niggas. that's that's repellent. Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas.
Man, and let me walk through this next point, right?
Mhm,
So, in the series, you mentioned how she knows that you're settled, right? And
mhm,
that you can do better.
mhm,
The thing is, though, is that a lot of times these type of females don't think you can do better. And the reason why they don't think you can do better is because they are surrounded by a lot of other females that are just like them.
mm,
And those females, all those females are usually the ones that are most popular. You know, they got a lot of hype around them. And they all feel like anybody that's not like them, they actually feel like they're better than the other type of female that acts different from them.
mm,
The woman that will tell you that you do deserve better will be another woman outside of that circle
right.
that is different, and she might be someone like a sister to you, or she might be a family member that be like, what you doing, what are you doing with her?
Mhm,
We That's not the type of female that we would, as a sister, that's not the type of female that, I mean, I could have told you she was going to act like that. What did you expect?
mhm,
Now you know Kimberly over Kimberly had been crushing on you for quite some time, and you noticed Kimberly, but because Kimberly is not, she not rowdy, she not in the mix like that, and she might be a little bit more reserved, right? She don't really get your attention because she, even though she may be better, she don't really get your attention because she's not in the mix. But check
mm,
this out. If the men are used to dealing with these type of females, right? And they never clear that energy out, you continue to attract these type of females anyway because you have been collecting these spiritual energies.
mm, mm. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now I have a couple of examples.
Mhm,
So I have a friend right now, a guy friend right now, that is in the process of going through a divorce.
mhm,
He was complacent. Now I'm friends with both he and the wife, but I was his friend first, right?
mhm,
So as he starts venting to me and everything, and starts sharing me some things that's going on, at one point I was like, I had to slow him down and say, I actually get where she's coming from. And here's where you made some mistakes as a man. You made a lot of mistakes as a man, and now that you've allowed once a woman, y'all hear me very clearly. Once a woman loses respect for you, it doesn't matter the nature of the relationship, and it doesn't matter whatever you have done for her before then. Once she loses for you as a man, she doesn't care. She cannot care about you as her man,
mm,
even with a ring on her finger, even with children that she has bred for you out of her womb. Because he did not value himself enough beforehand, then he did not have appropriate boundaries set in place because he didn't really have a standard to enforce. So, as she would little by little do little things to try to complain and whine, which some of her complaints are legit. Some of her complaints are legit, but the way that she went about her complaints were inappropriate, right? Nevertheless, because she became very disrespectful, right? But because he never stopped the disrespect, he never stopped. He never even addressed things that made him feel uncomfortable. The first time it made him feel uncomfortable, then she got very comfortable in making him uncomfortable, keeping him uncomfortable to the point of blatant disrespect.
Hmm. That's the buildup too.
That's the buildup.
Mhm.
And it had gone on for so long that there was no way he could even get her to listen to him because she already saw that what you didn't have enough values, you didn't have enough boundaries in place anyway. How am I going to respect you now? Why should I respect you now? It's not like you let this go on for a week, 2 weeks, a month. You let it go on for months until months became years.
Mhm.
You let little things become big things and constantly trying, and because you don't like confrontation, because he didn't like confrontation, he saw addressing her as being confrontational. Men, fellas, let me tell you something. Confrontation is your friend when it's done in the right way. Confrontation means that you really believe in what it is that you are standing up for, that you have the things that you are saying mean have value to, mean something to you, that you're not willing to bend on. Confrontation says, I'm not willing to bend. And how dare you, the audacity of you to try to get me to bend when I'm telling you what this means to me, as if you are the man,
Mm.
as if you are running the relationship, as if you are in control of me, as if my word means nothing. And if your word means nothing to a woman that you're with, that means that you mean nothing to the woman that you're with.
Wow. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And and let me add this real quick because I know when you just said what you said, Rainy Woman, a lot of women is gonna they what? What? Oh, so they trying to listen, confrontation doesn't always equal violence or
Facts.
aggression. Confrontation could be a conversation. Why can't I
Mm-hmm.
confront you to have the conversation? Why
Right.
if I confront you, you feel threatened?
Right.
Think about this, fellas. So if this is why you have to vet her outside of sex, because she gonna act good if that thing good. She gonna act good. She gonna play the role. So this is why you gotta vet her outside of that. Constantly confront her with certain questions in conversation to see how she responds. Because she's not gonna respond too much different if she was your woman. So if she's uncomfortable with having certain types of conversations, do you think that's gonna change if y'all was in a relationship? You think that's gonna change after y'all keep having sex for a year, 6 months? Soon she's just gonna be saying, "Shut up, nigga. Come on, let's do it." It's gonna turn into that. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be honest with yourself, fellas, and stop thinking. And ladies, if you're listening, confrontation doesn't equate aggression or violence. Confrontation is simply coming to a person and initiating the conversation. Hey, let's
Mm-hmm.
talk. That's confrontation. If I come to you
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Hey, babe, let's talk. I didn't like what just happened. Let's talk about it." That's me
Mm-hmm.
confronting you.
Right.
That's me confronting you. So we got to remember that too, fellas. Don't let's not be afraid to and to the fellas. Masculinity is all about confrontation.
Come on.
If you don't if you can't oppose something if you don't confront it.
Facts. Facts.
So But anything else you wanted to add, Rain and Woman?
Yes. So another
Mhm.
example I have here is one of my brothers
Mhm.
married his high school sweetheart, right? And then he got locked up. And they got married while he was locked up. Got out, got back with the family, everything, yada yada yada. However, his wife, because he didn't, he was allowed her to push him over, not want to be confrontational, didn't have boundaries set. She pretty much ran over him and ran him away. She always felt like because he always stood by her, because he believed in family, and because he wanted to be a better man than what he had seen before, that he would never leave. But he left. He remarried someone else. This woman, the new wife, completely respected his boundaries. I had this happen actually with two brothers of mine, actually. Respected the boundaries, respected them, standards, and everything. Well, this one particular brother ended up going back to his first wife.
Oh no.
And when he went back to her, he went back to her with, look, these are the standards. This is I will only get back with you if this, and this. If you do not comply with this, and this, I am not coming back to you. I will not come back to you. So they're back together right now.
Mm.
And when I tell you she is compliant, honey, she is compliant like she is scared to step out of line.
Mm.
But but see, here's what had to happen though.
Mhm.
Because my brother got locked up at a young age. He had to really redevelop himself, and he had to really mature and build up his true manhood in order, and he also got closer to God. Let me say that too. 'Cause I don't want to take God out because that's very critical.
Mhm. Mhm.
So he had to really realign with his purpose and his values and stand up for who he really was, along with listen to what his family had been telling him all along, in order for all that to come full circle.
Wow. That's fellas, that's truly important, man. That's important. That's and salute to your brother for that, man, because I know a lot of brothers never get on the other side. Like once
Mhm.
they mess up that time, they
Mhm.
never recover and could, make the transition after. So
Right.
that speaks to a level of resilience and within him, but it also speaks to, like you said, the power of God as well, you know.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
he also had to do the work.
Right. I have two brothers that were locked up and got out, did their time, got out. And when I tell you there is no chance that they will go back, like when I tell you they are out here thriving and prospering completely legally, and just like, I mean, just really set a standard above. I am so proud of them, and I'm so thankful and grateful to God for the course that their lives are on, and I, because I used to pray, and I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I used to actually pray that the Lord would not even let them be released until they were ready to come out, until they
Mm.
would actually could actually maintain the change, because I did not want to see them with a pattern, repeating a pattern, especially unnecessarily. Because these were two men that had absolutely no business in prison. These were two men that absolutely had no business doing any of the things that they were doing to get locked up. They had no reason.
Right. Right.
So another one of my brothers, and may he rest in peace,
Rest in peace.
he had boundaries, right? But he was such a good dude. He was such a kind heart as a man that he would take too much for too long. And it took him a while to really stand up on himself and in himself to be like, you know what? Enough is enough. And okay, I see what I'm attracting. I see what's going on, and actually get worn out and rebuild himself. And after rebuilding himself and reestablishing his boundaries, when I tell you the woman that came into his life, when I tell you she was the type of woman that I prayed for my brothers to have in their lives, I thank God for this woman, for my sister in law. And when I tell you that she had so much respect and admiration for the man that he was without him having to become toxic and dysfunctional, that she literally took the best care of him when he was on his sick bed. You never listen. Men not on their sick bed don't look and didn't look as good as she kept him looking, even
Wow.
on his sick bed.
Mm. Mm. Hope y'all listening, fellas. I
That
know
is
I
all
am.
for now.
I know I am. Well, I appreciate you, Rain and Women. I'm glad that you came up and you shared that with me. You shared that with the audience as well, because it's definitely some motivation for us, fellas, to understand that there is hope, and it's not worth giving up. It's not worth settling, because I mean, at the end of the day, only only thing on the other side of settling is the shit that we don't want anyway. So what's the purpose of settling?
Mm-hmm.
On the other side is all the shit that we don't want, and all of the toxic stuff that keep us messed up. So, man, this is a great lesson. I definitely learned a lot from what you just said. Especially for myself. You know,
Thank you.
so I appreciate you, Rain and Woman, for coming up.
I appreciate you as well. Thank you for having me, and I'm going to go for now. God bless. Peace.
Yes, man. God bless you. And shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate everyone for tuning into this week's recap show, this series recap show. Now, like I said, we're going to be doing recap shows every series, starting from last series here on out. Every series, we will be doing a recap show at the end of the week where you guys can come up. We could chop it up for a minute, and then we could go on about our day, man. So, shout out to everyone. I appreciate everyone for pulling up to the recap show. Shout out to my man Ebo for hitting the super chat and donating to the recap show. You would like to donate to the recap show. You enjoy the recap shows. You can hit the PayPal. You can hit the Venmo as well to financially support. Most importantly, I appreciate y'all being here, because I came up with the recap shows to not only do more content for you guys, but for you guys to have some interaction with me, outside of the chat room, because My daily shows, I don't put the link out or none of that. And I know a lot of y'all be wanting to chime in on certain topics. So this is why I'm doing the recap shows, man. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. Salute to all the visionaries. Salute to my lovely mods for always coming through and holding down the Chizat. Shout out to everyone for coming through. Salute to all of the financial supporters. Salute to all of the new supporters as well. If you're new here, shout out to y'all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we drop some content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all the ladies as well for always coming through and holding down the chat for your brother. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone. We will be back with another recap show when we finish our next series. But we will be back here. We will be back here Monday, right here, 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm y'all host, DS1 Ross, of course. Shout out to everyone, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.